Just keeping it real, and you with the Wood Dog, DAWG. You see, because the only thing that I know how to do is keep it real. I'm not going to make this a long segment. I know it's been a minute. Some people have been asking where I've been. If you know me, I'm out there on the road getting it in. So I took some time out to address a few issues, and I'm going to address them today. And I always like to keep it real for good reason because when certain stories come out in the news media, they always are really condensed and they really don't explain really what's going on. Channels 2, 4, and 7, they give you snippets. They put out sometimes what they want you to hear, but they do have time parameters that they have to adhere to. But I, the wood dog, don't have to do that. I can just keep it real for as long as I work in my parameters, which is my parameters of 30 minutes or less. Slightly over 30 minutes if it's a really hot topic, but I don't think I'm gonna have to do that. I'm gonna be real brief on every topic that I cover today. I'm gonna talk about three things today, maybe four. And I'm gonna go through them and you're gonna get it. And I'm gonna always end up where you know where I'm going. The last issue, the last issue is always an update what's going on with the Wayne County Sheriff's Department. Okay, the first thing we're going to talk about today is team takeovers, my assessment on that, keeping it real. The second thing I'm going to talk about is maintaining insurance and planning for your retirement. And then the third thing we're going to get into is the update with the Wayne County Sheriff's Department. There might be a few things I might touch on with the unions, and it might be a remedy that the Wayne County Commission may want to explore, including the Wayne County CEO's office. Okay, here we go. Unfiltered from the boy, your wood dog. I'm about to give it to you. The team takeovers. There's been a lot of talk about the team takeovers in the city of Detroit. What is the remedy? The mayor's office is all over it. The police chief, Todd Bettison, and his assistant chief, Franklin Hayes Jr., they're all over it. But they're handling it with kid gloves, hoping that the teens would be more responsible and the parents would be more responsible. But what the media is not telling you, and somewhat the mayor's office is not saying, is that they need to take the gloves off a little bit. You know, when the mayor came out with those 24/7, 365 days a year free bus passes. They're basically fueling their own problem, allowing these teens to ride the buses all over the city when school is not going on. If there's no school going on, there should be no access to buses without payment. All the other citizens in the city of Detroit have to pay for the buses. I get it. You know, under privileged people, they might not have the money to catch the bus every day, so they let them ride the bus free during school hours. There's very little going on school wise with the Detroit public school system uh, on the weekends and after hours. I would say after 7. After that, the parents and the relatives should be responsible for transporting these young people to and from their after school events and stuff. There has to be a limit on these young people just being able to jump on the bus 24/7, 365 days a year at no cost. That's a problem. But yet they're trying to enforce curfew. Okay, you got a curfew, but you got untethered access to the Detroit transit system. How does that work? The second thing I'm going to say about the teen takeovers is that they need to continuously hold the parents accountable. Hold them accountable, write them tickets, get them in court when they don't respond, put warrants out for their arrest. The judge's show calls them, get them in court. They don't comply. Sometimes you might have to go heavy handed and start locking them up. But you got to do something. You got to do something. You can't just let these kids run ramp shot. Some of them are armed. One got shot downtown. He's fighting for his life, you know. Uh, Begging people not to let him die. They didn't let him die, thank goodness. Why he was out like that when his mother said he normally doesn't go out. Mama, what was you doing? Why did you even let him go? When you know that there's an issue with curfew and the behavior of minors under the age of 17 and under in the city of Detroit. So they either crack down on it, get a grip on this untethered access to the Detroit transit system. They might have to walk a few things back with those bus passes. That's my opinion on that. Okay. The second thing I'm gonna talk about is maintaining insurance. As the city continues to grow, they're demolishing more buildings. Realtors and developers are coming into the city and they're building out older buildings, building new buildings all over the place. And um, these things cost. If you want to protect yourself, have insurance. Vehicle insurance is one of the biggest things that people say that they forget about or they let lapse because they don't want to pay. And then when you tear the car up, okay, you don't have insurance on the car to satisfy the lender. They're coming after you, suing you, and you got a job that you go to work to every day. They go get a civil judgment against you, and they're taking money out of your check like child support. Don't think for a second that these attorneys, Sam Bernstein, Mike Morris, Jim Actor, and a few others out here are going to have mercy on you because you don't have insurance. You also need homeowners insurance because a car could leave the road and hit your home, and if you don't have homeowners insurance, your home is basically tore up and you're going to have to go through all your savings or have to task other people in your family to help make repairs, depending on what it is. What if your house burns down? What if the house next to you catches fire and burns your house down? The house that caught fire has insurance. If it's a total loss, they get the value of their home and they can go buy a home somewhere else. You don't have insurance on your home, so you're living in a one-bedroom apartment with five people because you was too cheap to pay insurance. Pay that insurance. It's insurance that's invaluable. You can't put a price tag on having insurance on your car, your home, and your life if you leave, so you could take care of the loved ones you leave behind. So that's my stick on that. Now, the number three thing I got a Wayne County Sheriff update for you. All right. Now, I saved this best for last because it has two parts. It has the update with the sheriff's office, then it has a part I'm gonna talk about with the Wayne County Commission and the CEO's office and what they can do. Um, the Wayne County, as you know, the Wayne County Sheriff, about 2 or 3 weeks ago, was in the news again. He had a public Facebook account. He mistakenly, or he says he was hacked, and his personal, some personal videos and pictures were put on his Facebook page, namely a nude woman, and pictures of a penis, maybe his penis. Go figure that. But he was saying that he was hacked, and those pictures and videos was put on his personal Facebook page. Now, Ross Jones did a segment on this. If you go on Channel 7's website, go to investigations, you can look at what Ross Jones said about that. You can also see it. It's on my Facebook page under Frank Wood. But as you know, everybody knows me as the Wood Dog, DAWG. Now, listen to me, people. If, in my opinion, I think Sheriff Raphael Washington is lying, just like he's always been lying. And this is why I say that. If you get hacked, you no longer have access to your account. You are locked out. Sheriff Raphael Washington said he noticed that the pictures were up on his personal page and he was able to take it down and make the appropriate setting changes. Well, how can you do that if you are locked out? When somebody hacks your account, that you're locked out. They done change your password, your username. You no longer have any access to that account. It's done. You have no personal access. So how can you make changes? And if he was hacked, he said that, or somebody in his administration was trying to advise him the best they could, saying that uh, they would go to the Michigan State Police or the Detroit Police Department to file a report because this information was put on his personal Facebook page. Has he done that? No. I think somebody probably pulled his chain. You can't order a fake investigation. Lying on a police report is a felony. So that's probably the main reason why the Michigan State Police and the Detroit Police or anyone else was not sought out to figure out who put those penis pictures and new videos on his Facebook account. If you remember in 2022, when Walter Epps was running against Raphael Washington for sheriff, there was a posting by Rafael Washington. He had his profile picture in his uniform, and they're acclimated Ray Wash. And it's a bunch of new juvenile looking ladies, many years his junior, that he's obviously trolling these sites. And he accused the then current, at that time, the Wayne County Deputy Sheriff's Union President, Reginald Crawford, of hacking his Facebook, hacking that particular account, whether it was Instagram or whatever it was, that hacked it and put it out there, added his face, added his uniform picture to an account under a bunch of ladies on a social media site. You know that's not true. I personally know Reginald Crawford, and he was not that tech savvy. Okay, that was an admission by him. So, as usual, Sheriff Raphael Washington, in my opinion, is lying all over the place. He's been canceled in the community. Pastors are not calling him to do anything. Um, Nobody is calling him to do anything for good reason. There's still an ongoing civil lawsuit with the Regina Parks lawsuit. That woman is still traumatized by what he did to her. And I'm sure there's some other women in the community that didn't come out to sue yet, but they're traumatized by him. Raphael Washington has lost his upper command staff, his chief of staff, Mike Turner, gone. His third chief deputy, Robert Dunlap, gone. Why are they gone? He didn't fire these individuals. These individuals got tired of covering for him. These people got tired of answering for his behavior. Everywhere they went, what's going on with Raphael Washington? What's going on with this? What's going on with that? When a leader loses their right hand person and their left hand person, so to speak, which was three-star chief Robert Dunlap, what does that tell you? That you a monster and they don't want to work under you anymore. All right, that's the deal. And from what my sources are telling me, um, they have he's been allowing civilians to work in union bidded positions. Certain civilians are in violation of state law, and the Wayne County Sheriff is in violation of state law, allowing certain civilian employees to have access to the law enforcement network, which is lean. Now, I've been making some inquiries with the state of Michigan, and that's not allowed. You can't have an officer with a civilian giving them access. That is privileged information. There is too much information in lean for to allow a person to have that access. where they can see what type of warrants a person has, how many times they've been arrested, when they've been to prison, when they got out, their address information going back 10, 12, 15 years. That is a restricted database for a reason. They took it away from reserves, they took it away from private detectives. And there's individual sign-ons. So if you're in lien, you have to do it under your name. So if you misuse it, you can be charged with a misdemeanor for misuse of the lien system. Before I retired in 2022, I used to sit and listen to even some police officers who were misusing the lien system. Friends and family of police officers asking people who are cops and they family, hey, can you run this person and see what's up? Some of them are stupid in doing it. I remember back in 1998, we had a stupid deputy ran the president of the United States. Secret Service came and snatched him out of the video. Never saw him again. So that's the things that are going on. This union busting behavior under the current sheriff, Rafael Washington, allowing and continuously allowing these individuals to have access to information they're not supposed to have access to. Now, it's a double edged sword because the deputies are trying to fight back and maintain their rights. They're trying to get a good contract. And from what I've been seeing lately, is very troubling. And it's on the union side of the fence. You got certain people who used to have union positions. Now they want to run for the leadership in the Wayne County Deputy Sheriff's Association after they quit everything that they were elected to by their peers. But then you have certain people within the union who don't act like people performing these jobs. Like I said, they're working as a union officer, but yet they're working a discretionary job. Now, how does that happen? When you have people who've been elected by their peers to hold a union position, but yet they're working in a non union position and enjoying it, being able to be removed from their duty assignments and working out in the community, which is a non union activity, but then they want to come back and represent you, the union man, the union woman. That's a problem for me. They have chief stewards within the Wayne County Sheriff's Department. I'm just going to keep it real, who are allowing themselves to work indirectly for the disgraced Wayne County Sheriff Rafael Washington, and they are union steward. You're working, you got special uniforms that you wear to do certain off the clock and on the clock functions which are non-unionized. If you a union person, you are a union to the bone. You can't jump back and forth across the fence. So with that said, the union leader, the membership in the Wayne County Sheriff's Department, you need to be very careful about the union officers and stewards that you elect to office. Be very careful. Don't listen to the people around. Judge each individual who's running for office for yourself. Decide what have they done for the membership lately. What have they done before you give them your vote to hold a union position for 3 years. They get released in the middle of the week while people are being ordered for overtime, forced overtime, but yet they're at their union locations doing whatever they doing, which is supposed to be representing the members. But this is not all of them. I know the ones that work hard. I know the union people that work hard, but I know the ones that are on some BS too. And I'm not calling them out by name because there's no necessity for it. Just vote accordingly. Now, in closing, this is a message to the Wayne County Commission and the Wayne County CEO's office on how they can control the Wayne County Sheriff's position. and ultimately control a rogue sheriff like Rafael Washington. I'm gonna give you a scenario that is factual. In There's 83 counties in the state of Michigan. In the state of Ohio, there is 88 counties in the state of Ohio. But out of those 88 counties in the state of Ohio, there is only one county where the sheriff is not elected by the people. Yes, get it straight. I'm going to get you straight. It's factual. You can Google it after you watch this. In the state of Ohio, there is 88 counties, and only one county does not have their sheriff elected by the people. The sheriff is appointed by the Cuyahoga County Commission. In Cuyahoga County, the sheriff is appointed by the Cuyahoga County Commission. Why? Because they had a long term sheriff at one time. His name was Gerald McFall. Gerald McFall had a lot of jobs within Cuyahoga County. I think he used to be a city councilman. He used to be a mayor of some type in one of the cities in Cuyahoga County. But over the years of working all those different positions within the county, and then when he ran for sheriff, he became unstoppable because people would use him to get other positions. He would give his endorsement to people to run for offices. He was a one man powerhouse. And because he was a one man powerhouse, could nobody touch him and could control him because he controlled the narrative. People voted for him just because he was um, Gerald McFall. And he served as the sheriff in Cuyahoga County for 31 years. But after he left that office, that county, Cuyahoga County, took their head out of their backsides and decided to do what they had to do to remove the selection of the sheriff from the people, because obviously the people didn't know how to vote for a lawman. And that seems to be the same scenario here in Wayne County. You elected Sheriff Rafael Washington 2 times, and what did his chief of staff say in a under oath deposition? The man can't help himself. He cannot help himself to be around women. He can't help himself to be around young women. He can't help himself to sexually harass women. It's documented, noted complaints, numerous complaints going back 20 years up to this current day, dating and soliciting and trying to seduce subordinate deputies on the Wayne County Sheriff's Department. And the public knows about this. And now they have a new facility over there on Russell and Ferry talking about this facility will solve their staffing issues. Well, guess what? People go in there, see the conditions, and they rotate right back out the door. So Wayne County, the CEO's office, and the Wayne County Commission, you need to make Wayne County whole again, like the city of Detroit did with the overtime, the benefits, retirement multipliers, medical deductibles. You need to make it right. Otherwise, you're going to keep that revolving door. You're going to keep it open for sheriffs like Raphael Washington to come in and contaminate the good, hard-working men and women of the Wayne County Sheriff's Department. That's what I had to say. You know who I am. I'm the wood dog, and I just keeping it real because keeping it real is the only thing that I know how to do. And I want to thank all of you for listening. Thank you. And do me a favor. Please like and subscribe to my YouTube channel, Just Keeping It Real with the Fist. And I want to thank you.